Once you find yourself in conflict with a narcissist, it's a virtual guarantee they're going to start playing head games with you. That's why I put together a new course. It's very extensive called Anger Games. I'm going to teach you how to manage anger and conflict with a narcissist. There's a link below that's going to show you how to register, and I hope that you find it to be very insightful. One of the things that happens as you've had ongoing exposure to individuals with a strong narcissistic bent is you begin realizing these individuals are trapped inside a mind that's dedicated towards hate. Now, they may not show it right up front, but over time, as you get to know them, you'll realize that's a central ingredient to who they are. Now, this tells me that a starting point for you and me to understand narcissism is to realize these people are bottom feeders. I want you to think about the key ingredients that we have in the narcissistic pattern. And they're bottom of the barrel ingredients. Characteristics like, I want to control you. It's all about me, and I'm selfishly committed to making whatever I want happen my way, and I don't care about you. They don't have empathy, or they don't have regard for others. They have to be not just better than, but pathologically superior over other individuals. They have strong defenses. They're quite willing to manipulate and exploit individuals. That's what I mean when I say they're drawing from the low ledger, the low ingredients that are part of human nature. And in doing so, they bring their own brand of negativity and insecurity, discord, divisiveness. And then they'll dress it up with a certain kind of arrogance that comes across as condescension. Simply put, narcissists are going further and further down the path towards hatred. They have a hatred for people who differ from them, and their hatred can be triggered by all sorts of matters. For example, they can hate anyone who disagrees with them. It's like, how dare you come against me like this? It's like, not just expressing an opinion. No, you're not, and I hate you. They can hate you for just wanting to be your own independent person. You want to have your own personal choices. They hate you if you're not 100% loyal to them, or more accurately, subjugated to them. All of this that I'm talking about is an indicator that says narcissists are driven, they're defined by their own internal confusion. You see, to a narcissist, love confuses them. Compassion is confusing to them. It's like, that brings too many other ingredients in that I don't want to get into. Humility confuses them. Empathy confuses them. I don't know how to do it. I don't want to do it. Self-restraint confuses them. It's like, no, that means I'm having to give up my power. Free choice confuses them. Peace is elusive. Joy is fleeting. Kindness feels like they're being wimpy, and it's an energy drain as far as they're concerned. Gentleness feels like something that is something that makes them less than. Honesty to them is optional. That's what we're dealing with when I say they're bottom feeders. And so qualities like encouragement, affirmation, compliments are just a one-way street. It's like, yeah, I want you to give those to me, but I'm not giving it back to you. And then when you come along and say, well, I can do better, you can do better, we can do better, and you want to sit down and reason with them, then you find out, well, your intellect threatens them. In their mind, it's like, hey, look, I'm supposed to be the smart one in the room. Don't you dare try to usurp my power, my position. If you try to have a calmness and say, I don't want to go in the same path, your calmness is a threat to them. Or if you decide, well, I'm going to go ahead and be my own separate and distinct person, your decisiveness is offensive as far as they're concerned. If you wind up being liked by other individuals, especially people that they don't really care for, if you're popular, then you're deemed to be illegitimate because those people don't know you like I know you. They keep bringing their negativity You see, when you understand the nature of narcissism, you realize narcissism is anti-love, it's anti-dignity, it's anti-respect, it's anti-civility, it's anti-cooperation, it's anti-harmony, it's anti-diversity, it's anti-acceptance. Now, having said all that cheery stuff, narcissists won't say it out loud, but then as you put it out there like I just did, you know what they'll do with all of that? They'll say, please join me. I need you to join me in my negativity. I require you, if you're going to be on my team, I require you to dislike the same people I dislike. I require you to have the same stubbornness about the topics that I'm stubborn about. I require you to judge people in the same way that I judge people. You are truly, if you're truly loyal, you're going to condemn the same people I condemn. Just make sure that as you do, you do pick the right people to condemn. And so narcissists will park on their hatred. And in doing so, I'm hoping you can see that this is a lazy person's way out of life. Keeping in mind that when we talk about going into all these negative places that I'm mentioning here, it's their way of saying, I don't want to have to think. It's too much work. I don't want to have to weigh the pros and cons of, things like anger and hatred and manipulation. Don't make me go into that space. Let's don't go into that sense of psychobabble, and whatever you do not tell me that I'm illogical or I don't make sense, because I make sense to me and you need to join me in my sense. If you join the narcissist in their hateful and condescending attitudes about life, you know how they take that? First, they think, well, actually, there's strength in numbers. I kind of like that. If you hate in the same way that I hate, that means I feel stronger. Because if I do it over here all by myself and I'm the only one in the room, I still feel okay. But I like it when you join me. It makes me feel like I've got a cheering section here. If you hate with them, it proves to them anyway, that they are indeed enlightened. See, I told you who you need to be down on. It fills them with feelings of power. It becomes an endorsement from you towards them if you have the same judgmental and hateful attitudes. It can make them feel necessary. We need people like me. Come join my team to set the world straight and to let folks know how things really ought to be. And oddly, if you join them in their hate, which is what they want, it allows them to feel connected. It's a kind of a strange kind of connection. But in their minds, if you hate with them, they're thinking, yeah, isn't this great? I mean, we're a team, man. Let's be united on this. In actuality, narcissists are inside their own prison, a prison that they've constructed for themselves. They thrive on being divisive, and they want your company as they continue to divide. And I'm thinking, okay, that doesn't make sense. Let's be divisive, and then we can keep company together. Those ingredients are mutually exclusive from one another. But the narcissist thinks, yeah, that makes sense to me. Come on and join me inside my own psychological prison. I need some company over here. Now, I know that as we think about this is an odd kind of mindset once you sit down and start breaking it down like we're doing here. Narcissists, with all of their self-absorption, go into the place of hate and contempt and derogatory thoughts. And then instead of saying, I need to do something about it, they say, I need you to join me, and I need you to enable and prop me up as I go along my business. I really want you to be on my team. Now, the more you see this, rather than just flailing and just thinking I can't deal with this, I'm hoping you can be a decisive individual and refute the mindset that they bring with respect to this kind of way of life. For example, instead of mimicking the narcissist's self-absorption, I hope that you can choose humility. Instead of dehumanizing other individuals, you can choose empathy. I'm hoping that instead of creating or having coarse bravado, you can choose gentleness. Instead of destructive aggression, you can choose clean assertiveness. Instead of arrogant condescension, you can choose a mind of equality towards others. And choose of living with a fixed agenda, you can choose to be open-minded. Instead of having dishonesty and distorting truth, I'm hoping you can choose honesty. Instead of being contentious and argumentative, I'm hoping you can choose approachability. Instead of having a dull intellect, I'm hoping you'll lean into and choose curiosity. Instead of choosing to disconnect from other individuals, I'm hoping you'll be a willing servant. Instead of having meanness at the core of who you are, I'm hoping you can choose to be a servant. Now, the narcissist, when they hear all of this, it's like, well, I just hate. And it's just what I do. It's part of my identity. And I really do want you to embrace my hatred with me. It empowers me and it makes me feel like a somebody. That's pretty sad, isn't it? Here on Team Healthy, when you hear or insinuate those kind of messages are insinuated, I'm hoping you can think, seriously? Really? Seriously, that's what you want? You need me to be a judgmental, condemning, hateful person like you? I find that approach to life to be off-putting, it's abusive, and it's toxic. And rather than going your path, I am indeed going to choose dignity, respect, and civility, because you see, I'm on Team Healthy. And if you want something different from me other than that, you're on your own. Now, I hope that videos like this can give you an idea of what you're up against and what you're dealing with. Knowledge is power, and the more awareness you have, then the more you can choose your better path. If you haven't already hit that subscribe button, I would encourage you to do so. We're going to keep more videos coming towards you. I know that when you're dealing with something like this and you're trying to extricate yourself from their insistence and all the rest, there are times that you could use some therapy. And I know that you know that I've been sponsored for years by the people at BetterHelp.com. It's a whole team of licensed professional therapists, and there's a link below that can take you to their service. It can be so good for someone to say, let's talk about this, and let's talk about how we can forge a way of life that's so much different. If the need is there, please get the assistance that you would need. Now, in my retirement, I put together multiple courses. These are very extensive online classes, and you can take them at your leisure, at your pace. You can share them with anybody you want. Each class has at least 25 teaching videos, along with handouts and guided questions. We have my anger games, which is all about staying out of their hatred and anger. We have This Is Me, about establishing good boundaries. Free to Be, Ready, Set, Connect, about being a healthy connector. And so if those would be helpful, avail yourself to that. On my website, we have access to my webinars, which are 90-minute presentations of a very different kind of variety. We have access to my podcast, many articles, my books, etc. I'm hoping that you can join us here on Team Healthy by saying, if they want me to join them on Team Hatred or Team Goofy or whatever it might be, I'm not interested. That doesn't have any appeal to me. I know so many people that'll look back and they'll say, yeah, I actually got sucked into some of that. But once I saw it for what it was, I had to get away from it. Let's get away from that. And let's go towards the much cleaner alternatives. In the end, I'm hoping you can have a steadiness, an objectivity. You can present yourself in goodness, which then ultimately positions you to be a person of peace.